please take your seats. The program is about to begin. Welcome to the 2023 Brady Action Awards. Please welcome tonight's Master of Ceremonies, Associate Editor at The Washington Post, and anchor of MSNBC's The Saturday Show and The Sunday Show with Jonathan Capehart.
So there I am sitting at the table, talking with my table mates, having a great time, and then I hear the voice of God announcing that it's time for me to start. I'm like, wait, it's not 7:45. Oh my God, it's 7:45. So good evening and welcome to those in person here at the Mayflower Ballroom and those who are joining us via live stream from their own homes or from watch parties across the nation as we celebrate the Brady Action Awards. I am your host, the out-of-breath Jonathan Capehart. And I'll be with you tonight as we celebrate the many advocates, activists, ambassadors, and supporters who make Brady's work possible. For decades, Brady has fought the good fight, working across Congress, the courts, and communities nationwide to find common ground in common sense. The numbers of lives impacted and recurring headlines in the news may make it appear as if the deck is stacked against us. But it's not a fight anyone in this room or watching at home is going to run from. Brady's mantra is that we all need to take action, not sides, and that it is the essence of what we are celebrating tonight. It's the name of the event at which we're gathered, and it's engraved on every award we're giving this evening: action. We honor those who use their voice, their talents, their time, and their treasure to contribute to Brady's mission so that Brady isn't just a name, it's a rallying cry for progress. It's an opportunity to see a day when a Black youth doesn't have to worry about ringing the wrong doorbell when picking up his twin brothers. Our children will be able to go to school, will be able to shop for groceries, worship where we'd like, and go to the theater without wondering if we'll come home. Here to tell you more about Brady's vision for that day is the inimitable Kris Brown, president of Brady.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Jonathan, thank you I miss seeing you in person these last few years, but of course I do see you every weekend on MSNBC at 9 a.m. Thanks for bringing wisdom and beautiful insight into our lives and for your dedication to this cause. We appreciate you. And to each of you here with us in person tonight and joining us virtually from watch parties all across the country, welcome. You are the wind beneath our wings. This night celebrates you. So much work went into this evening. There are so many of you to thank. Perhaps it is fitting to start with folks who stood by Brady with us throughout all of the preparation. So let's thank in particular our co-chairs, Ricky and Michael Helfer, Jean Bernstein and Kathleen Walsh, our presenting sponsors, Kevin and Jane Quinn, if any of us ever wonder, if you wonder whether one person can make a difference, look no further than our chairman, Kevin Quinn. To our silver sponsors, Tim and Sue Gomes, bronze sponsors, Emma Bloomberg and Jeremiah Kittredge, City, Covington, Anita D'Onofrio, Alan Bennett, Roberto Gonzalez and Sarah Rapawi, MCJ Amelia Foundation, Eddie and Megan Quinn, Edward and Kathy Quinn, James Francis Riley's grandchildren. Woo! A lot of family. It's a family affair. And Paul Weiss. Now, I want all of you to take a moment. It's not a moment of silence, but one of focus. I want you to think about children in their classrooms, focused only on learning, not on fear. A moment when folks can go to the grocery store or their houses of worship without worrying for their lives. A moment where your child's right to life, right not to be shot, and right to raise their family free of gun violence is valued over a deadly fascination with weapons of war. A moment where democratically elected officials are not silenced and expelled for using their First Amendment rights to stand on the right side of history. We have a very special guest with us tonight. Representative Jones, thank you for your leadership. You have inspired and will continue to inspire us. Thank you. What we want is a history and future that values young lives over profit and families over special interest. Isn't that the America we all want? I'm here to tell you it is one we can have. Look around this room. The community around you and so many more that have come before us are committed to building that future. Let's enter into this evening together with the knowledge that that reality is right before us. The only barriers are our voices, our collective energy, and our will that cannot be silenced. We at Brady are the megaphone for that will, that determination, that yearning for change that can never be silenced. We made history galvanizing that energy, and we will continue to do so to meet our mission, freeing America from gun violence. To do that, we must treat gun violence as a public health crisis and solve it not just with policy, but with better enforcement and legal cases. And not just that, but also social norm change. To make real change, you need data-driven solutions. That's the Brady difference. We change laws through spurring executive actions, through Congress and in state legislatures across this country. We invest in legal cases to hold the gun industry accountable. And we change social norms around firearms with our End Family Fire campaign, which is now augmented with our Show Your Safety campaign. Thank you, Christy Callahan, and many others. Bringing truth and honesty to how guns are portrayed in movies and TV. What we are spurring here is real and truthful conversations about the role of guns in American life, an acknowledgement that guns are the #1 killer of our children. Your support powers Brady to implement the most effective programs through our data-driven approach. Brady knows what legislation should be replicated on the state level because it's been proven effective elsewhere. We know the court cases that must be tried because they set critical precedent. We know how to hold gun dealers and manufacturers accountable. We know the programs communities need to help end their own particular forms of gun violence. And we know the importance of influencers and storytellers in reshaping our country's dystopian view of gun ownership as a right for anyone to own and bring any gun anywhere. One that allows each of us, no matter where we are born, the color of our skin, our income, or our educational status, an equal chance to live and to thrive. To be truly free in America, we must live in a country that is free from gun violence. That right, that fundamental right not to be shot, to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it's not a pipe dream. It is the very essence of a free and a fair society. And it is one, thanks to you, that we at Brady fight for every single day. Our honorees tonight are the heart of the Action Awards, and it is my distinct and great pleasure to introduce a young woman who is the heart of Brady's youth movement, Team Enough, to present our first award this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alea Eastman, gun violence survivor and a leader of Brady's Team Enough, to present our first Action Award.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alea Eastman, and I am the co-founder and national administrator for Brady's Team Enough. It is my distinct honor to be here tonight to give this special award to a true game changer and someone I am very proud to have worked alongside, Congressman Maxwell Frost. The congressman first entered the movement as a 15-year-old after the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary. He continued to fight in the movement as other lives were continuously taken across the country, including the Pulse nightclub shooting that took place in our home state of Florida. He, like me, has also been impacted by gun violence at a young age, but it was following the Parkland mass shooting that his work rose to national prominence as the first national organizer of March for Our Lives. It's also where our lives and passion intersect. I'm a survivor of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in Parkland, Florida. It was in the wake of this horribly evil act that our generation forever changed how we interacted with our political system. No more platitudes. We demanded action from our elected officials. It was a call that so many answered, but none more so than Representative Frost. Having known Maxwell since the March for Our Lives Florida tour, I knew it was inevitable that his passion would lead him to political office. Our paths have run parallel, with Maxwell organizing for March for Our Lives and my organizing with Team Enough. We've remained supportive of one another and dedicated our lives to ending gun violence for the generations after us. One of the proudest moments in this movement was when Team Enough was able to be there with him the night that he won Florida's 10th congressional district race in Orlando. Representative Frost always says that his work isn't about himself, it's about us. That's the type of passion and selflessness that America needs. That's a message we can all rally around. It is politics at its best, and it defines the incredible champion, Maxwell Frost. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you this evening's Advocate Action Award honoree and my friend, Representative Maxwell Frost.
Wow, wow, wow. How's everybody doing tonight? Well, what an honor. Just thank you so much. This means the world. You know, like Alea said, you know, this is about a movement of people. It's not about one person's show, but it is nice to get your flowers sometimes. And I do appreciate Brady for being alongside me during my campaign. A very difficult campaign. Brady was one of the first national organizations to really support me, and I thank them for that. And on top of that, I thank them for supporting me now in the work that we're doing. We are seeing across this country a rise in a very dangerous white right wing that is working to strip away rights from people across this country, whether you're LGBTQ+, banning books, etc. But one of the greatest rights that they're ripping away from us across the entire nation and in my home state of Florida is the most sacred right, the right to live. And for me, I look at a party like that holds up this word patriotism, and I see the hypocrisy. Because we understand that to be a patriot is more than just a flag, it's about loving the people in the country. And when you love somebody, you want them to live free of gun violence. You want them to have the resources that they need and deserve. I got involved in this fight when I was 15 years old for one simple reason. I didn't want to get shot in school. And what we know right now is young people are rising up across this entire country demanding a future where we all have that freedom to live. And that freedom, that future, I close my eyes, I think about it every single day. But the good news is when I open my eyes, I'm surrounded by a movement of people fighting for that world together. And that's why we will end gun violence in this country. That's why we will have a true democracy in this country that works for everybody. I love events like these because you get to really see people from across the country that are fighting for the movement. You also get to see how creative a dessert can get. Y'all see the orange cylinders. They're either really good or really bad. I think they're going to be really good, though. But I'll end with this. The work that Brady has been doing, it's invaluable. And we need to continue to support organizations like this that understand how we're going to end gun violence. It's not one set of people. It's a group of people coming together, multiracial, multi-generational movement coming together, fighting for the world that we deserve. That is the heart of Brady. That is the heart of this movement. And when you are working to end gun violence, you're working to end all the oppression that our people face, because we understand that gun violence is a symptom of root problems in this country. And there's so much that we need to do to solve it. I always look to the elders of our movement to get the inspiration. I think about Angela Davis when she said, "I am no longer accepting the things that I cannot change, but I'm changing the things that I cannot accept." Can we accept gun violence? Do we accept gun violence? Do we accept gun violence? Well, let's keep going to work. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Please welcome back to the stage, Brady President, Kris Brown.
Me again. You heard me allude earlier to Brady's newest strategy to effect culture change in our efforts to combat gun violence. And it is my pleasure to tell you more about the people behind that effort and to present tonight's Show Your Safety Award to those in attendance this evening. June of 2022 saw more than 300 of Hollywood's top producers, directors, writers, and showrunners, many of whom are with us tonight. Thank you. We had a great meeting at the White House today. They signed a pledge backed by Brady to incorporate gun safety best practices into their shows and to scrutinize the use of firearms in storytelling. They not only signed the pledge, but many have taken great efforts to live by the word of it as well. As I noted, 20 of these individuals met today with the White House to continue the important conversation and chart the best path forward with Brady and the Office of the President of the United States. The stories we tell literally have the power to change our culture. The stories we tell involving guns can set the stage for the reality of guns in America and help reinforce that firearms are not a zero-risk value proposition. So, we're thrilled that these American storytellers have pledged to include safe gun storage and responsible ownership into their storylines to more accurately portray the potential risks of having a gun in the home that is not secured. Their work will save lives. Showrunner Matt Nix has modeled Show Your Safety with significant changes to the scripts on his show, True Lies, since signing the pledge. Please welcome Matt Nix to the stage to accept the Show Your Safety Action Award.
It's quite heavy. It's very exciting. So thank you, Kris, for this award, which I gladly accept on behalf of my fellow writers, producers, and directors, some of whom are here tonight. So I'm going to ask you all to stand and be recognized as I call out your name. John Glickman and his amazing wife, Christy Callahan, who is the backbone of this work. Robert and Michelle. By the way, I can't see any of you, so you're going to have to stand. I will know if you're standing by the applause. Robert and Michelle King, Aaron Rashawn Thomas, Marnie Hockman, Glenn Mazzara, Andy Detman, Michael Costigan, all of them making some of the best programming out there. The talented folks we see on screen, the actors, D.B. Woodside, Clark Gregg, Adam Brody, Caitlin Stamos. We also have with us Dutch Merrick, our expert armorer. Danny Karehi from William Morris Endeavor. Let's have some applause for all of these folks. So last year, Kris approached me with an idea to tackle gun safety in the same way that Hollywood had drunk driving, cigarettes, and seatbelts. And the idea was simple. Don't preach, don't sermonize, just have the heroes of film and television model good safety practices. So imagine a hero cop coming home from a long day. We might normally show them grabbing a drink from the fridge. Instead, we show them locking up their gun. No words needed. The message is clear. Heroes lock up their guns. So this last year, I included these show your safety principles into my CBS show, True Lies. And I have to say, this is not on the teleprompter, but I have to say, easiest award I ever won. So simple. Because the spy heroes of the show have lots of guns. But you just write into the script, they're sticklers for safety. That's all you have to do. Like the production team, they take care of the rest. It's great. So they've got a secret gun safe with a biometric lock in the nightstand. They've got another awesome gun safe under the mantle in the kitchen that can only be unlocked with a particular secret refrigerator magnet. They're cool. They actually add to the stories I'm telling, and they emphasize a crucial message, which is if you've got a gun in your home, you need a safe place to store it. And what I love about this campaign is that it acknowledges two basic truths. Guns are a fact of American life, and we need to make safe storage a fact of American life too. So we were fortunate enough to spend the morning with Brady at the White House strategizing how to bring safer gun use to the screen. This new partnership has enormous potential. We're all incredibly excited about it. Thank you, Brady, for making it happen.
Let's have another round of applause for the efforts of this talented and dedicated group of people using their considerable influence in the best possible way. The power of Hollywood storytellers to change public perception can never be underestimated. Just a reminder that we have our live auction coming up later in the evening, and I encourage you to show your appreciation in a tangible way for the work Brady does to keep us all safer. If I recall correctly from prior years, there are always some great experiences you'll want to bid on. And of course, throughout the evening, your support, no, I'm sorry. I read prompter for a living, and my eyes just went, boing. Throughout the evening, you support the wonderful work being celebrated and ensure that it continues using the tablets on your tables or the link shared with our virtual guests tonight. The tablet right there. It says Brady in purple and white. It's right there in the center of the table. And now I'm pleased to turn your attention to this message from Senator Cory Booker. While he couldn't join us live this evening, the senator is a gun violence prevention champion, a friend to Brady, and a man who refuses to let the gun lobby define the realm of what's possible in our efforts for a safer future for all Americans.
Hey everybody, it's Cory Booker. Thank you for this honor to speak with you this evening. The Brady team is an incredible force for good. And I think it's no small part because of the efforts of my fellow New Jerseyans like Chair Kevin Quinn and the president of Brady's New Jersey State Executive Committee, Carole Stiller. Together with the Brady president, Kris Brown, you all have leaders who are so passionate, dedicated, and focused on ending the horror, the nightmare of gun violence. And leaders who realize that there are many approaches to make our communities safer. As you all know, gun violence is a public health crisis in our country. It is plainly unacceptable. We know that it's the #1 cause of death now for those under 18. And that is just truly, truly a wretched reality. We can't continue to live like this. But thanks to your work, many states, including New Jersey, my own, have adapted some of the most effective gun safety laws. But this is not a fight that one person or even one state can win alone. We're all in this together. We need to make sure that all of us link arms, make sure that we are doing what is necessary to bend the arc of the moral universe more towards justice. We need to make sure that we're ending this nightmare and reclaiming the dream of an America free from violence, free from fear, free from this challenge facing too many families, children, places of worship, concerts, movie theaters, and more. We are America. And so I want to just end by expressing my gratitude. Amidst all the pain and the hurt that has come from this issue, there are people that never, ever give up, who are determined, who are full of grit and guts to stand up to any kind of opposition, to demand that we as a nation love ourselves and our children enough to turn from what we know is a dark present to a better future. And so thank you all for being in the room tonight and for putting us on a better path. You all are harbingers of hope, and through your work, you make me believe that we will overcome the burden, the awful horrors of this level of gun violence in our nation and claim a more peaceful, prosperous future for us all. Thank you.
Please enjoy your dinner. The program will resume shortly. Don't forget to share your favorite moments from tonight online with hashtag Brady Action Awards. Welcome back to the 2023 Brady Action Awards. Please direct your attention to the screens.
At a time when gun violence is a national epidemic,
This is America's disease.
when Second Amendment extremism is a growing threat, and our nation's highest court has declared an alleged right to carry guns in public,
Second Amendment groups see this ruling as a major victory.
we need to take on the powerful forces that endanger Americans and provide justice to those senselessly injured and killed. At Brady, we're doing just that. For over 30 years, Brady's legal team, along with our legal alliance, have dedicated their expertise to help end gun violence. We take on cases to reform the gun industry, represent victims of gun violence, and defend life-saving gun safety laws. And our impact can be felt across the country. We've litigated in over 40 states, winning precedent-setting victories, holding the gun industry accountable, reforming the gun industry to keep our communities safe, and securing justice for those impacted. We've brought or assisted in hundreds of lawsuits and won tens of millions in settlements for victims and their families. And we've successfully argued against the gun industry's unparalleled special protections with landmark cases that have paved the way for victims of gun violence to have their day in court. We filed a lawsuit on behalf of victims of the Highland Park mass shooting, alleging unlawful marketing of the weapon used in the attack. When gun dealers illegally sold firearms to a shooter online, we sued on behalf of the victim's family, forcing the gun dealers to make significant changes in their business practices. And we helped recognize that victims have the right to seek civil justice and hold gun makers accountable in court, resulting in landmark decisions regarding the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act. And our work is not over. With the recent Supreme Court ruling, Brady Legal and our nationwide network of legal talent is working harder than ever to protect gun laws and preserve a reasonable interpretation of the Second Amendment. Because we know that together, we can make America a safer place for all, where no one lives in fear of being shot. And that is an America worth fighting for.
Please welcome to the stage, Brady Chief Legal Officer, Doug Letter.
May it please the court. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong speech. Start again. Good evening. I am delighted to be here and am excited to share why I joined Brady in January of this year and how Brady Legal and I are determined to build on the storied past that you just saw. I don't want to take much time. They've only given me a little bit of time, but I don't want to talk too fast, so I have a favor. Would you all please listen fast? I've been in public service my entire legal career. First 40 years, I was litigating landmark civil and criminal cases in court for the United States, with, among others, Lou Cohen of Wilmer. I most recently served 4 years as the General Counsel of the House of Representatives under Speaker Nancy Pelosi. A true Brady stalwart. As that position ended, I pondered how to continue serving the people of the United States. I learned of this position at Brady, and after much thought, I decided it was a perfect fit for me, with thoughts of my young grandchildren driving that decision. One day, one of my daughters called me in tears. After yet another massacre in one of our schools, she was now terrified to send her 4- and 2-year-old children to preschool. My path at that point was clear. Before making the final commitment to Brady, I checked with a few of my Capitol Hill colleagues, and I learned that Brady is the gold standard. I'm going to say that again, the gold standard for public interest groups. and in particular for the gun violence prevention community. So I signed on, and it has been phenomenal. I get to work each day with smart, passionate, strategic, sociable, kind, humorous, collaborative, and outraged people. They are dedicating their lives to reducing gun violence in this country. And and a group of them are here tonight. So if you're sitting with one of them, please clap them on the shoulder right now. I can't think of a better team that I would want to be on. Well, except maybe the Golden State Warriors, who I've rooted for since, about 60 years, under Steve Kerr, another avid Brady supporter. Go Warriors. In my vision for the future, the Brady legal team will continue to skillfully litigate cases on behalf of victims of firearm violence without any cost to them. And we will use these court cases to demand that the gun industry be part of the solution. In collaboration with the Brady Legal Alliance, many of whom are here tonight, we will also work with the White House, Congress, BATF, and state and local governments to put in place common sense gun safety laws designed to end gun violence and make our communities safer. And our legal team will stand with them and defend them in court. We will lead public thinking about overcoming gun violence to make a better America, one where we're not constantly threatened and attacked with assault weapons fed by high-capacity magazines, one where we are all safe to go about our daily lives. Brady Legal will do all of this as a central part of Brady's work across Congress, courts, and communities, and we will succeed. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage gun violence survivor and Vice President of Policy and Programs at Brady, Christian Heine, and Brady's Vice President of Organizing, Sheikah Hamilton.
Hi, I'm Sheikah Hamilton, Vice President of Organizing at Brady.
And I'm Christian Heine, Vice President of Policy and Programs here at Brady. Together, we are so proud to present tonight's Brady Advocate Action Award to Carole Stiller, President of Brady, New Jersey.
I've worked with Carole since the Million Mom March on DC in 2000. At the time, we were just moms on a mission to save lives. I never thought after 2 decades and endless versions of our Million Mom March and Brady t-shirt uniforms, as we called them, we would be lifelong friends, working together to end gun violence.
I met Carole in April of 2006 during an advocacy training 1 year after my mom was killed. Carole was at the very first table that I sat at, that me and my father were at for a Brady function much like this one. I have been inspired by Carole's advocacy ever since. Carole is a force to be reckoned with. She is all in on local politics, on grassroots efforts, and Brady might not have a chapter in every township in New Jersey. We got a big Jersey contingent here tonight, right? But there we go, Jersey. But we do have Carole, yes. Right? She sees to it that every area of the state is represented by Brady every single day.
Carole's indomitable spirit is clear to anyone who has ever joined our monthly chapter leaders call. Her questions are insightful and to the point, and her willingness to embrace any challenge immediately puts others on their mettle. She makes the difficult seem easy, and her energy is unmatched.
Carole will be the first to tell you that working on legislative issues was not easy at first. But wow, did she learn quickly. Over the last 21 years, she has stood alongside mayors, governors, all in New Jersey as they have passed life-saving legislation. She's also made lasting relationships with other individuals and organizations, both within the gun violence prevention space and others whose work has intersected with ours. She recognizes that a unified voice is amplified and far more effective. She's a coalition builder at heart, and that is the key to an effective advocacy in its truest form.
Carole, we are so proud to jointly honor you with the 2023 Brady Grassroots Action Award. We can think of no one more deserving. Brady and New Jersey are incredibly thankful for your work. Woo! I'll help you.
You notice I'm not getting around New Jersey very fast these days. But thank you very much. And I would like by starting to sincerely thank Christian and Shika for introducing me tonight and presenting this award to me. I feel as if they're part of my family. I've known them for so long. As Christian said, I think he was probably 18 when I first met him. And I'm not really sure how old Shika was. Shika was a toddler. And I also want to thank my husband, Tom Stiller, for all of his support over these almost 23 years. And actually, I should thank him for all of our almost 48 years of married life. Yeah, and for those of you that know me personally, you can imagine how hard of a task that's been. I'm happy to accept this award tonight, not only for myself, but for all the other grassroots volunteers who are working with Brady in New Jersey and all across the country. Hi. It's the governor, people. Together, we can make a difference. And I'm so proud, this was perfect timing here, I'm so proud to be part of the New Jersey contingent in the House. I'm joined by, I was going to say, I earlier saw that Bill Kastner is here. He is our governor's guru of gun violence prevention. And my fellow honoree and friend, Brady Board President, Kevin Quinn, whatever you know. And on perfect cue, our Governor, Phil Murphy, who has signed at least 22 bills, gun violence prevention bills, into law so far in his tenure, and we are still working. We are still working on passing very important bills on safe storage for all gun owners and raising the age from 18 to 21 to be eligible to receive firearms purchaser identification. But we haven't given up. Many of you are here tonight because you know that Brady is the only organization that knows a complicated issue requires a multi-pronged solution and provides those solutions. You've made the right decision in supporting Brady. Plus, all of us here tonight also know that gun violence prevention is a public health crisis and that we all have roles we can and should play. But a lot of times you don't know just how to get started. Well, whenever someone approaches me about becoming a volunteer, the first thing they tell me is that they don't have a lot of time. I tell them not to worry. I tell them that if they only have a few days a month they can spare, perhaps they could agree to testify at a committee hearing, or they could do a gun violence prevention research project at home from their own computers. If they only have a few hours in a month, I tell them that they would be perfect to be at one of our outreach tables at a community tabling event. Excuse me. If their time is limited to a few minutes here and there throughout the month, then they can certainly make a phone call to a legislator or to another volunteer to welcome them on board. And if they have no time at all, well, I tell them we can always use your money. And that is a big way that all of you are helping to support Brady tonight. So welcome, you're all volunteers. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming out to join us in this celebration. Brady couldn't do this work without you. And in closing, I'd like to give a shout out to Cordy in her yoga pants and all the other Brady staffers and volunteers out there in New Jersey and across the country who are watching live stream tonight from their comfort of their homes. It is great to be working alongside all of you. And finally, a big congratulations to all of my fellow honorees. Thank you.
I got you right here.
Consider yourself organized by Carole.
Please welcome to the stage, founder of Orange Ribbons for Jamie, gun safety activist, author of Find the Helpers, and the newly released American Carnage, Fred Guttenberg.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm just a dad, and so I appreciate it. Where's Kris? I know I'm supposed to stay on the teleprompter, and I promise I will, but I got to do something first, because I want to help everyone really understand why you're here tonight. So I'm going to ask you all to do me a favor for 1 minute or so. Close your eyes and imagine yourselves in the happiest place in your life, whether it's with your kids or your spouse, on a vacation, the Democrats sweeping in the next election. Just for a minute, I want you all to close your eyes and imagine being in a perfect place. I live with that sound in my head. It is the reason I'm here tonight. It is the reason why I'm dedicated to Brady. And so with that, I will get back on script, but I need you all to understand. I'm just a dad. I'm a dad of 2 kids, and I visit one of them at a cemetery. So tonight, I am here to present a really special award, the Brady Ambassador Action Award. You've heard this evening about how important Brady's mission is and why we honor those who work alongside us to bring about the change that our country so desperately needs. My beautiful daughter, Jamie, was murdered at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, February 14, 2018. She'll never live the life she had planned. She'll never fulfill her hopes and her dreams. I won't ever get to walk her down the aisle. She'll never continue to brighten our days and those who loved her. All because someone who should have never had access to a gun robbed Jamie of her future. It's happened since in Uvalde, in Nashville, Tennessee, and too many other countless places. The names of the cities change, but the carnage, it's the same. The loss of bright lives with endless possibilities in front of them remains the same. I fight on in Jamie's name. The Brady Action Awards honor those who fight, like Jim and Sarah Brady, like me, so that one day we will no longer have to gather for ceremonies such as this, because right and common sense will have finally prevailed in our country. Until then, we need everyone here to lift their voice. Tonight, our Ambassador Action Award this evening goes to just such a voice, my friend Bradley Whitford. So, I met Bradley in October of 2018 at Politicon in California, just 6-7 months after my daughter was killed. And he was at a round table for West Wing, moderated by Lawrence O'Donnell. And when it came time for the Q&A, somebody in the audience said to Lawrence O'Donnell, "How are we supposed to have hope with all the craziness happening in this country?" And I was standing off to the right, and I didn't know Lawrence saw me. And Lawrence pointed to me and he said, "You see that man over there? He lost his daughter earlier this year, and he's doing everything he can to make a difference. Use him as an example of why you should have hope." Unknown to me, Bradley was up there on the stage wearing my orange ribbons for Jamie pin. I had no idea. And he jumped up out of his seat, and he's literally tugging at his lapel like this, saying, look, I have your pin." I gotta tell you, I was at a low point until that moment. And Bradley jumping up, wearing that pin, showed me people were paying attention. You gave me hope. It is that kind of passion that you bring to all of your commitments. Now, Bradley, you've done more than wear the pin on your lapel. You've raised your voice to spread the message on the importance of safe gun storage. It's particularly important to me and the other survivors of mass shootings where access to a weapon brought carnage. Bradley, my friend, thank you for adding your voice to others in Brady's critical work. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, it is my privilege to present the Ambassador Action Award this evening to Mr. Bradley Whitford.
I just want to say I'm upset about the teleprompters because it would have made West Wing a lot easier. Thank you, Fred. We were talking earlier today about the fact that too often we leave the fight for decency in our society to the victims of injustice. And one of the most shameful aspects of the scourge of gun violence in America is how we leave the fight for gun safety up to the traumatized survivors, witnesses, and families of the victims of gun violence. But I can tell you, Fred and so many others in this room tonight, that there is nothing more galvanizing, nothing more inspiring, nothing more necessary at this critical moment than the Herculean example of people like you whose response to unspeakable tragedy and loss in your own lives is to fight to prevent that suffering in others. So I thank you all. You're an amazing father, Fred, an amazing father. And you honor Jamie every day, and we're all grateful for your work. I know that I speak for the previous men who wear makeup for a living, who have gotten this award, like my friend Bryan Cranston, Michael Douglas, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the great Steve Kerr, who, as far as I know, does not wear makeup, that we are all humbled and we are honored to be able to use our platform to make sure that Jamie's voice and the voices of all the victims of senseless gun violence continue to be heard. It is hard for me to comprehend the moral inversions and the perverse incentives of a radical right-wing minority that has so successfully imposed its dark vision upon us. I don't understand it, but I know how they did it. They understood the fundamental truth that politics is the way that we create our moral vision. Too often, we think it's the stuff I do, that culture alone will suffice, but it will not. The West Wing did not help you if you had a pre-existing condition. We had to pass a law. The Handmaid's Tale, big hit, won't help you if you're a 13-year-old rape victim in Ohio. We have to have the courts. So while I've been making television shows, the radical right has been working all of the political levers available to them on this issue: legislative, executive, judicial, federal, state, and local. It is not a civic extracurricular for these people. They are pursuing a business agenda on behalf of gun manufacturers, and the pressure is relentless. They don't need to be summoned to action by unspeakable tragedy. This is their job every day for decades, and their appetite for ever-increasing profits is insatiable, regardless of the cost to society, regardless of the carnage and the heartbreak they leave in their wake. Like so much of the radical right-wing movement that is in this country right now, they have succeeded by using the tools of democracy to undermine not only democracy itself, but common sense and decency as well. So it's in their vision that we find ourselves living, where over 10 times the number of people we lost on 9/11 die every year in preventable gun deaths, where the #1 cause of death in children is guns, more than cancer, more than automobile accidents, where guns outnumber citizens, where there are more gun stores in our country than McDonald's and Starbucks combined, where parents and children live in legitimate fear that each morning school drop-off might be their last. American exceptionalism, indeed. So we are here tonight to say that theirs is a vision that is built on lies. The lie that a legally, I'm not a lawyer, but legally batshit interpretation of a Second Amendment written 100 years an amendment written 100 years before a bullet ever had any gunpowder in it, guarantees an 18-year-old the right to have instant access to a weapon of war without training or a license. The lie that common sense gun safety measures violate the Second Amendment. The lie that the more guns we have, the safer we will be. The lie that common sense gun restrictions for safety's sake haven't been an American tradition since the Revolutionary War. The lie that the Second Amendment was ever intended to in any way jeopardize our most fundamental rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and the lie that the blood of children on walls of our schools is simply the cost of freedom. The Brady Coalition is leading the fight against this madness. I've had the opportunity, as Fred said, to work with them on their End Family Fire campaign. It deals with the necessity of safe gun storage by introducing the concept to employers so they can make it part of their employee health and wellness training and get that message out to 160 million full or part-time employed Americans. It's life-saving information that the vast majority of gun injuries and gun deaths can be prevented through the simple, very simple act of storing your gun locked, unloaded, with the ammunition stored separately. Safe storage saves lives. It is a simple idea. And it is typical of Brady's unique and effective approach to messaging. But clearly, none of us are doing enough. This is a horrifying moment, and it is easy to fall into despair. But as Fred embodies, despair is a luxury that our children cannot afford. And action is the antidote to despair. I am grateful to the Brady Coalition for organizing and spearheading the political action for gun safety, and I am grateful to so many Americans, young, old, all across this country, who at this critical moment are raising their voices in the name of all the innocent victims of gun violence and are fighting for a future that our children can believe in, a future that will honor them, the future that all of our children deserve. And while I am tempted to quote Jed Bartlett here, who once said that we will do what is hard, this ain't no stinking television show. The consequences are real. It turns out we don't just get a democracy, we gotta make one every damn day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this fight.
I know my gun should be stored locked and unloaded. But what good is a gun if it's not prepared for use? So instead, I'm prepared for misuse. That means I'm prepared to stop arterial bleeding in 3 minutes. Less for kids, they bleed out faster. My son just shot himself. Hurry. Access to firearms triples your risk of death by suicide. But that's not the only way to misuse a gun.
I think I heard Mama.
Misuse can happen when you least expect. So being prepared means knowing the difference between CPR for adults and kids. Unintentional shootings happen every day. So that sense of safety my guns bring me can shatter in an instant.
Please welcome gun violence survivor and Vice President of Development and Partnerships at Brady, Liz Dunning.
I've seen that many times, and it always gives me a catch in my throat. Our End Family Fire campaign makes clear that we can all help create a world free from gun violence. The conversations that we have, and I've said this to many of you tonight, with our friends and family about storing guns safely matter. They can be the difference between life and death. And we know that ads like this one make a difference. Gun owners who are aware of End Family Fire are 310% more likely to seek out information on safe gun storage. That's game-changing. So like the voice of God said, I'm Liz Dunning. I'm the Vice President of Development and Partnerships. Like many who have been on this stage, I'm a survivor of gun violence. My mom, Nancy, was shot and killed answering the door of her home in 2003. her killer finally brought to justice in 2015. While every survivor's voice and perspective is unique, I can tell you that something we often share is a deeply rooted belief that our grief, our trauma, our loss are not political. That in many ways this work is not political. The work I do every day to create a safer world for my kids, the ones that their grandma would want for them, that's not about politics. Of course it isn't. It can't be. And it's true that while my experience as a survivor is more common and increasingly so than I'd ever wish, you don't have to have this happen to you to do something about it. And seeing you all here tonight is inspiring, and it reminds me of just that. What I've learned is that we all have something to give to this fight, and it will take all of us working together like it's our job to create the safer world that we seek. I hope you'll join me now in welcoming tonight's auctioneer, Steve Little, and I hope that you'll think about how you can give, both tonight and going forward, and how you can help. We need you. Steve?
Thank you, Liz. I'm so psyched to be back and be your auctioneer again. Thank you. It's such important work. We're going to jump right in here. First of all, I never get to say this at the beginning of an auction. Every dollar we raise in the next 15 minutes is matched. 2,000. When you bid 1,000, Brady gets 2,000. Even you only pay. So this is already, we're off to a good start, right? Okay. Our first item. Now you can have this here, or you can take it home with you. 2 magnums of Mailly Champagne. It's from one of the 17 Grand Cru villages of the Champagne d'Appellation. So 2 magnums of Mailly and a delectable classic chocolate cake. You can have it here, it'd be delivered to your table, or you can take it home. All right, let's do it. 1,000 to start. Looking for 1,000. Could you turn the lights just down a little bit, please? 1,000 here. Thank you. Now 1,100. I have 1,000. Now 1,100. Make it 11. Now 11. Looking for 1,100. Is that it? It's 1,000 bid. Looking for 1,100. Make it 1,100. 1,000 bid. Looking for 11. Hey, 11 here. Thank you. And now 1,200. It's 11 bid. Now 12 bid. 1,200. Looking for 12 bid. 12 bid. 1,200. Looking for 1,200. It's 11 bid. I have your 11. I'm just trying to help you pay more. And where are you? 1,200 and 1,200. Thank you. Now 13. Yes. And 14. And yes. Was that yes? Thank you. 15. 16. All right, I have 1,500 here. Make it 16. Thanks for those bids. Every bid counts. 15. The ladies bid. Make it 1,600. Once. Twice. So 1,500. Thank you. Thanks for starting us off. Please raise your card up. Please raise your hand so that people, can you raise your hand that they can know where to find you? And do you want it delivered here to open it for your table? All right. They're taking it home. Okay, thank you. DC Sports. We got 2 very generous franchises here in DC. We've got the Washington Capitals and we've got the Wizards. Right now, DC Sports fan package, we've got 4 front row on the glass tickets for the Caps game next season and 4 VIP tickets to the Wizards game. The Cap seats are behind the goal, which are great seats. The package also includes access to the VIP Caesars Club with complimentary food, beverage throughout the game, parking in the arena, that's a big deal, a signed Tom Wilson puck, and a signed Wizard jersey. Thank you, Monumental Sports. Let's start this one at 3,000. 3,000 right away. Good to see you here. 3,000 now 3,200. We'll start at 3,200. I have 3,000 bid looking for 32. Would you bid 2? Make it 32. Would you give 3,200? And I'll ask for 31. I have the 3. And where are you? Way in the back. Good eye spotters. 31. 32. Keep your eye so you remember who he is. 3,200 bid 32, sir. 32. Looking for 3,200. And 32. Thank you. 32. 33. And 33, now's the time. You've been watching. 33, 34, 3,400 bid 4, but you bid 3,400. Realizing the more you pay for it, the more you enjoy it. 34. Yeah, 34, 35, and 35. Bid 35, make it 35. It's the third. Did he say yes? Hey, right there, 35, new bidder. And now 3,600. And 36 bid 6, bid 3,600. Every bid you're making helps. It's 35 bid, looking for 3,600. Hello, 36, 38, 37. I have 36 bid right in the front, 3,700. You're such a generous crowd. 37 bids everywhere, 38. 37 looking for 3,800. 38, 39, and 3,900. Make it 9, bid 9, say 9, but he bid 39. I have 38 here, looking for 3,900. Going once, 39 in time. 4,000. Hey, all right, 40. I'm glad you're here. 42. I'm sorry, it's 4. Make it 41. 4,100. I have the 4,000. Make it 40. 41. 42. 41. 42. Are you bidding 45? Yeah, now 5,000. He started at 4,500, looking for 5 bid, 5 bid to get 5,000, make it 5 bid to get 5,000, looking for 5,000. It's 4,500 bid. He stepped up 45 once, and 45, 45, and 5,000. Thanks for the bids. It's 4,500. Every bid counts, even if you're not the successful bidder. Going once, and you bid 5? 5. The ladies bid 5. All right, thanks. 5,500. 55. Going once. I have the 5. The lady right here in the orange, like 5,500. Going twice. It's okay. Let's sell it here. And sold 5,000. Thank you. And raise your hand, please. All right. Thank you. Every bid counts tonight, even if you're not the successful bidder. All right, our friends at Total Wine and More have given us a nice package here. A private wine class for 20. Treat your friends, family, fellow wine. We've got 20 people in one of their stores. It'll impress you and your guests. It's a way to tour, learn about the land and about the appellations and grape varietals and make each region so unforgettable. So you pick a region that you want to learn about. You know, maybe Bordeaux or maybe Côte d'Aron or maybe Italian, and a wine expert will present and discuss each delicious wine during a 2-hour class. It can be a seated class style or a more casual walk-around event. Total Wine will provide all the STEMware and educational handouts. Thanks. Started at $2,000. Dos mil. 2,000. Make it 2. Bid 2. What do you bid 2? Bidding 2? Way over here. 2,000. And now 2,500. I have 2,000. Make it 25. Bid 5. Bid 2,500. Looking for 25. She's the 2. 25. All right, good to see you again. Now 3,000. And 3, now 3,500. And 3,500 now. 4 bid 4, but you get 4. Make it 4,000 here. 4,000. Do you want it? It's 3,500 now. 4 bid 4, but you get 4,000. I'm going with 4,000 going once. 35 bid. Looking for 4,000. Bid 4, but you get 4,000. Last call at 4,000. Make it 4. Enjoy that. Sold 3,500. Thank you. Please raise your hand up. Okay, thank you. All right. 2 more to go in the live auction here. Do you see them there? Okay, great. These are great volunteers we have. All right, number 4, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, New York City Experience. People love these. All right, so you go to the Ed Sullivan Theater. That's where the Beatles played. I mean, this is fantastic here. So number 1 show in the late night, he talks about all kinds of things, politics, entertainment, business, music. He's Peabody Award winning and Emmy Award nominated. Check this out. You also get 2 tickets to attend a taping of the show with Stephen Colbert. 2-night stay at the beautiful Hilton Midtown New York City, including breakfast. And this, in the East Village, a dinner for 2 at the cozy French-owned Mary Lou. It's located in the heart of the East Village. They offer classic French plates, cocktails, fine wines, all while celebrating je ne sais quoi. All right. So let's see where we're going to start this little guy. Thank you, Late Show with Stephen Colbert and the Hilton Midtown. And start the bidding off on this one at 3,000. That ought to be easy. 3,000, make it 3, bid 3. Would you give 3,000? I saw him first. Are you with him? Okay, 3,000 here now, 3,500. I have, where's a 35? All right, you got it, 35. Just remember who they are. Oh, yeah, I see you. Hi, 35. And 4,000. And 4 bid 4, but you get 4, make it 4. I have the 35. 4,000. 4,500. Yes. 5,000. And 5 bid, 5 bid. Don't get mad, just bid. 5,000. Looking for 5,000. It's 45 bid, and I'm looking for 5,000. Make it 5 bid, 5,000 going once. He's the 45. You're the 45. I didn't sell it yet, but it looks like you're going to get it. Make it 5. 5,000. 5,000. Okay. 5,500. 55. Looking for 50, certainly for a good cause. It's easy to see that. 5,500, looking for 55 going once. I have your bid, your bidder's bid of 5,000. You see 55 down there? Is that 5,500? Give me okay. Yes, 5,500. Now 6,000. Looking for 6. It's 55, way in the back. 6,000 going once. 6,000 going twice. No, that's the 55, and let's sell it. Sold, 5,500 right there. Thank you. Keep your hand up while they come to get it to collect it. All right. Hey, this is a nice one. Enjoy lunch with Bradley Whitford in New York or Los Angeles. Emmy-winning actor Bradley Whitford, nominated for 3 consecutive Emmy Awards. Deputy Chief of Staff Josh Lyman, I believe. I remember. And not only that, he's received the Ambassador Action Award, and I could see why from his eloquent speech. Very moving. Outstanding supporting actor, and it's going to be in L.A. or possibly in New York, depending on Mr. Whitford's schedule. And of course, the meal is included. It's a very generous package. All right, 5,000. Should be several hands up there. 5,000. Looking for 5 bid 5. All right, 5,000. And now, do you see? I need 5,500. 5,500. Well, you're the 5,000. 5,000. You want to get? Yeah, I'm just trying to help you pay more. All right, 5,000. Looking for 5,500. Yes, 55. 6,000. Yes, 6,500. 6,500. 6,500. 65. I have 6 bid, looking for 65, make it 6,500. 65 going once. 6,000 bid, make it 65. It bid 6,500 going twice, 6,500. 6,000, please put your hand up. Is that enough to do another one? All right, double for Brady right here. He's going to do another one. Where's my other bidder? But from ma'am, you put your hand up so with such power at the 5,500, or the 6,000 rather. You get a chance to do it too. Yes? We're looking 6. Yes, that's 6,000 right there. That's a double. Wow, Mr. Whitford, thank you very much. All right, everybody, please find your card that looks, what's that? I don't know if we... He's like, yeah. All right. So that is 3 people times 6,000. Wow. Wow, that's fantastic. All right, you spotters, it's up to you to collect that, get that information. Okay. All right, folks, you may find a tablet at your table. How about that? Every table has at least one. There's several tablets, or you have this card. This next part of the auction, it's the final part of the auction. This is my favorite part of the evening because it allows you to give from the heart. And it's going to be very easy to support Brady this evening because it's very simple. I'm going to ask if you can donate a certain amount. All you have to do is raise your hand and then put the amount in the tablet, or you can scan the card. If you need help working those, we have spotters and volunteers that help you do it. So if you're comfortable with an amount, put your hand up, put the information in the tablet, and that'd be fantastic. Now, if you're not comfortable with the amount, that's okay too, because then I'm gonna go to a lower number, and a still lower number until everyone here, I think, will have a chance to contribute. It would be fantastic. And I do have a suggestion, though, and that is if I ask for an amount to donate and you're not comfortable with that amount, perhaps you would consider living with a little discomfort for a few seconds. Put that card up. You feel good. This is such important work. So, our first amount. Who will give $25,000? $25,000. Okay. Wow. Two gentlemen here at $25,000. Wow. That's fantastic. So you want to put it in show them how to do it. Put it in the card. Who else for $25,000? Please put your information into the tablet here. Thank you for setting an example on that. Great leadership. Any other 25,000s? Any other 25s? All right. We're just getting going here. All right. The next amount is 15,000. 15,000, looking for 15. Would you give 15? I think that's so. Right here, what a table. Table number 6 again. All right, just please put the information in the card, in the tablet, or scan the card. Who else for 15? 15,000. We're trying to raise this evening, but because remember, this match is still in effect too. So when you gave 25, it's like giving 50. Oh, we're on a roll here. This is fantastic. The goal is to raise it. All right, 125. So let's look for 10,000. Which one? All right, thank you very much, 10,000. And you know the drill, right? Fill out the tablet, put the information in there. Who else for 10,000? Looking for 10,000, make it 10, bid 10, bid 10. 10,000. 10,000. 10,000. Well, it says it's the leading cause of death among America's youth. You've heard all these stats. But we're at the tipping point. Can't take this any longer. So people are rising up to action, and you are the leaders in the field. So thank you for including me in your event here. Looking for 10,000. All right, 5,000. Looking for 5,000. Let's see those hands. 5,000. Right here, right. Thank you, ma'am. So please put the information in the tablet or scan the card. If you want someone to come over and work with you to do it. Over here is also 5,000. 5,000. Any last 5,000s? Just pick up your card and put it in. In fact, if you feel like you want to give 500, just go ahead and fill out your card. Here we have on a screen over here, you can see names. You can see total raised. Dylan Quinn. Mike Hankin. Look at this. Okay, yeah. Thank you. All right. 2,500. 2,500. All right, thank you. 2,500. Just please fill out if you put it in the tablet, then that's how it gets onto the board right here, and your name gets on the board, and thank you for that. And the last amount will be 2,500. All right, thank you. Just fill out thank you for your generosity tonight. Any other 2,500s. And just put in anonymous any amounts you want to put in. Just take a few minutes here before we finish up. And then that'll be it. So any last donations you want to give, it can be 1,000. That adds up really fast. Remember, this is all covered under the match. So we're really doing fantastically. And we were looking to raise 125,000 without the match. So there we are. Look at this. Look at it go. It's very great. That's great. All right. We'll take maybe another. I know we were pretty much on time here, but we do want to wrap this up. So it's still going. So when you do that, are you doing the numbers? Okay. Fantastic. All right. I wonder how you would do that with an auctioneer. All right. All right. We're in that. All right. Putting in any you can go back and put 5,000 in if you want. Getting there. All right. I don't want to stop until I've exhausted everything here. Okay. Yes? Yes. Brady programs like End Family Fire and Show Your Safety will change the culture around gun ownership and the importance of safe storage. Your bids will help Brady stop the barrage of headlines we get. Check this out. Last year alone, Brady impacted 83 1,254,000 people with 30 new gun violence prevention laws at the state and local levels. And that's what the representative from New Jersey was saying. She said, we're doing it locally. So your financial support helps this. 4 billion people saw an End of the Family Fire PSA in 2022 alone. 4 billion hits. And they work. And we know that people who are aware of our ads are 310% more likely to seek information on safe gun storage than those who aren't. What's controversial about safe gun storage? How are we doing over here? All right. All right, should we wrap it up? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your generosity.
Please welcome back to the stage our Master of Ceremonies, Jonathan Capehart.
Thank you. The prompter is just a little. Oh, that's so much better. Thank you, everyone, for your support. And remember, you can still give throughout the evening on the tablets on your table or via the link shown to make this important work possible. So to present our next award this evening is a gentleman who is no stranger to doing whatever it takes to fight gun violence in his home state, my home state. I didn't realize there were so many folks from Jersey here. Governor Phil Murphy, who also had one of the most spectacular entrances into a dinner I have ever seen. But in all seriousness, Governor Murphy is here to present tonight's second Brady Ambassador Action Award. Since taking office in 2018, Governor Murphy has pushed for common sense gun legislation. His third package, which includes 7 bills, was notably signed the very day after the mass shooting in Highland Park, Illinois, showed yet again how vulnerable we were as a nation. The legislation requires training to obtain a gun license, outlaws .50 caliber weapons, and requires handgun owners to register any firearms purchased out of state. And as the governor said upon signing, and I quote, "They are common sense, they are smart, they live up to our New Jersey values." An advocate for his constituents and fellow residents of New Jersey, the governor has found a staunch ally in Brady and the gentleman he is honoring this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey to the stage to present our final award of the evening. Governor.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. I wear that you're from Jersey as a badge of honor. So thank you. Where's Bradley? I've lost him. Bradley, I have worn makeup. I'm the first 4-year performer at Harvard's Hasty Pudding Theatricals, and I'm damn proud of that. And I used to do a mean kick line. Jonathan, thank you for saying I had a dramatic entrance. I'm unfortunately going to have a dramatic exit. I'm dressed like this. I walked in and several people asked me where was table 30 and table 27. But I am balancing, just making sure, think about that, making sure you're paying attention out there. I know it's late, but I'm balancing here to pay homage to a dear friend of mine, but also I am with the South Korean delegation at the White House, so I'm not making that up. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. How many times can you say, I gotta run, which I've gotta do? I told Kevin I'm gonna introduce him and run because I've got the South Korean foreign minister waiting for me. You can't say that often, so I can't say it tonight, therefore I just said it. I said to the president of South Korea, I gotta go, I gotta give an award to somebody. He said, only if it's Kevin Quinn. That's not true, but it sounds so good I had to say it. So good evening, everybody. It is a real privilege to be here at the Brady Action Awards. Jonathan, again, thank you. My late mother used to say, which I quote a lot back up in Jersey. By the way, raise your hand if you're from Jersey, please. I love this. You're known by the company you keep, and I'm keeping damn good company tonight. Anthony Bourdain, who was a Bergen County, New Jersey native, used to say there are two types of people in the world. Those folks who are from New Jersey and those who lie and say they're from New Jersey. So before I give this award out, and again, I apologize in all seriousness, I'm going to give the award, give Kevin a hug, and leave. It's nothing personal, buddy. I want to take a minute to recognize some folks who, a couple in particular. I thought Bradley's remarks, let's hear it again for his extraordinary remarks. Some other folks who are just not just in the cause, but leaders in the cause. My dear friend Fred Guttenberg, who's with us tonight. I love you, buddy. And so much of what we have done in New Jersey, and we've done a lot, although the journey continues, we still have more work to do for sure. So much is because of the inspiration and passion that you have instilled in us. I also want to take a minute to recognize, I think Carole's over there. Is that you, Carole? My dear friend Carole Stiller, who against type is not wearing a purple t-shirt tonight. I don't know what crawled in her, but she's not. But you heard her remarks, and as I pulled up earlier, when she received the Advocate Action Award, when we pass significant legislation, and we've done that a fair amount, I'm proud to say, Carole is always right there next to me, beaming with joy. So I congratulate you, Carole, and thank you for all you do to push our cause forward. To you and Fred and all the other advocates out there. We could not do what we do without you. Got to get my coat organized here. It is now my honor to honor a man and a dear friend who has also clearly committed himself to taking action. New Jersey's own, your chair, Kevin Quinn. And I can say this with conviction because I am a former ambassador. He is a man who truly deserves the Brady Ambassador Action Award, and someone whom I've had the pleasure as governor of working alongside since my election in January 2018 until literally last month, I think, when Kevin had to step down. But he and Vasky and Brad Koenig and a bunch of other Goldman cronies, we've known each other for over 30 years. So this is a friendship that runs long and deep, and of course now he and Brad are serving, and others are serving the Biden administration and serving their country. So public service, not just his service at Brady, but service more broadly, is in his bones. At Brady, under Kevin's leadership and that of Brady President Kris Brown, another rock star, this outstanding organization has continued leading the fight to ending the needless and tragic public health crisis through an ever-evolving, and I might add, cutting-edge approach to gun violence prevention. Kevin is the type of leader who becomes a cornerstone of an organization. He gives freely of his time and talent. He fosters innovative thinking. He inspires with his words, and he listens closely when others are speaking. Truly, Brady hit the jackpot with Kevin. Further, Kevin slipped me a 20 to say that last part. Further, Kevin's professional background has been instrumental in bringing the financial sector to the table to engage in vital conversations regarding the pressures that the market can bring to bear on gun violence in America, and particularly on bad actors. It's this type of thinking that led to a significant step that we took together. Is Bill Kastner here? Bill? Where are you, Bill? Somewhere. Bill is my senior advisor on gun safety. We took this step together, again, with Kevin's and Brady's great impetus, and that was my signing of a first-in-the-nation executive order, leveraging the state of New Jersey's considerable purchasing power to promote the adoption of common-sense gun safety principles by gun manufacturers and gun retailers. In other words, and put simply, if your practices put the people of New Jersey at risk, we will be looking to purchase firearms and ammunition for state agencies elsewhere. We have seen this historic move strike an important chord in other states, which are now looking to implement similar reforms. This is a whole-of-government approach to tackling gun violence, and I'm proud to have worked with Kevin and Brady to make it possible. I've known Kevin a long time, and I know that he's passionate about many things. And no doubt his greatest inspirations and commitments are to his wife and another dear friend of mine, Jane. Let's hear it for Jane. His family, there are about 3,000 Quinns here tonight. We love all of them. And his table 5 in the house. Easy now, back. I see the bar still open. And his vital, life-saving work with Brady. And as an ambassador, he has introduced many to the essential work of Brady and the role that we can all play in ending gun violence. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask for one more show of hands. If you're here tonight because of Kevin Quinn. Wow, look at that. Unbelievable. Kevin, God bless you, buddy. The sheer number of people sat in their hands. Kevin, I don't know what to make of that, but kind of a Quinn boycott, I'm not sure. But the sheer number of people that Kevin has brought to the cause says more than I ever could about his unflagging dedication to this crusade. Jim Brady, a great American, once said that our country could do so much more to end gun violence if, like in The Wizard of Oz, people had the brains, the heart, or the courage. And Kevin Quinn has all three. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to present the 2023 Brady Ambassador Action Award to Brady's Chairman of the Board, my dear friend, Kevin Quinn.
Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? Right on. Right on.
So what the governor just whispered in my ear, he's a big fan of K-Sci, Gangnam Style. So he's got his whole K-pop routine he's got to get into now. I think I heard that right. Now hopefully for those who stuck around, because I know we're behind schedule, you got a special treat for you, but you'll ultimately decide. Listen, I want to thank the governor. I want to thank my family. There is a lot of Quinns in the house. My 3 children, Dylan, Anna, Tommy, my wife Jane. I have friends from high school here, friends from college, friends from right after college that live in places like Missouri and California. I have friends from where I lived when I lived out in California. I just can't be more humbled and blessed. And by the other wonderful honorees tonight, Carole Stiller, who is an original Million Mom Marcher. She didn't bring that up, but she's been with this since the very beginning, and she is one badass woman. All props to you, Carole. Don't F with Carole. I want to give a special thanks to my roommates who are here tonight, Ed and Kathy Quinn, my parents. After 37 years, I showed up on their doorstep when I took a job with the Department of Commerce, and we've had a few nights together, and we're doing all right. We'll figure it out. But I like the way we're headed. There are a lot of New Jersey people here, and I want to thank you all, my friends from New Jersey, who made a special trip to be here, including the governor, who, by the way, he did not say this, did not get invited to the state dinner at the White House until Monday. So, hey. I mean, somebody else said no. I don't know. So, fair warning here, I am the John Boehner of Brady. That's what I'm known as. I don't have the orange tan. I don't smoke cigarettes, at least not yet. We'll see what happens when I'm done. But there's an over-under on whether or not I'm going to make it through this speech without crying. And nobody has the under except me, okay? So I'm going to make a lot of money tonight, hopefully. So some of you have known me for many years. Many of you have not. I am not a victim or survivor of gun violence. Gun violence did not choose me. I chose gun violence, thankfully. So how did I end up here tonight? I'm here because I believed that our country could solve problems. I believed in the promise of America. And so what I'd like to talk about tonight is the state of affairs in the land of the free and the home of the brave. So I'm just wondering how free you all feel today, knowing that you are not safe from gun violence, no matter where you are. A school, a bar, a concert, a house of worship. I went to the wrong address. How free do you feel when your child asks you why she's doing active shooter drills? For those that live in a city, how free do you feel sitting on your front porch? My guess is not very free. This is not our mother's version of freedom. This is what the gun lobby's version of freedom. Not yet. This is what the gun lobby's version of freedom has brought us. Rising gun crimes and death, rising suicides, mass shootings, a modern-day dystopia. Dystopia sounds like a fancy word. Let's just say a really sad and lousy place to live. Another way of saying it. So it's a failing civic society. And all I want is a civic society. All I want is to live in a place that cares about the public good. So let's talk about bravery. How brave are we as a society? Apparently not very. we're trapped in a cycle of fear, where fear drives firearm purchases, and we all fear, gun owner and non-gun owner, the fear of being shot. Talk about the absurd. Here's the sad truth. The industry that is responsible for the leading cause of death among our children is our least regulated industry in this country. It's exempt from product liability. It's exempt from the Computer Product Safety Commission. There are no product recalls in the gun industry. Now, I am a business person, and yes, I did work at Goldman Sachs for over 2 decades. So I am, not necessarily a fan of regulation. But this lack of regulation is killing us, literally killing us today. So imagine what our transportation industry would be like without speed limits, without road signs, without lane dividers, cars without airbags, cars without seat belts. It wouldn't be very safe. And it's just like our gun industry today. So imagine this for a moment. And this is about political will, and this is in part about education. Imagine a firearm a firearm industry. I'm trying to adopt in this one little aspect, the language of the gun industry, firearms. The firearm industry, where firearm manufacturers had accountability over their dealer networks, where dealers trafficking guns to criminals and cartels weren't winning sales awards, but were penalized for aiding the criminal. Imagine that. You get a gold star, you're in Arizona, you sold, 10,000 AR-15s. It somehow went to, I don't know where they went, but that's called a gold medal winner, in the gun industry. Where the mentally ill didn't have easy access to guns, where background checks applied to all firearm sales, including the internet and gun shows, where assault weapons couldn't be purchased by any 21-year-old who wanted their man card issued. So I want to tell you there is hope, and there has been progress. I've been at Brady for 10 years. I joined Brady I had my board interview, sadly, coincidentally, on the same day of Sandy Hook in December of 2012. I joined the Brady board in December of 2013. So before we get really disappointed about what's happened, what I can tell you is, in the 10 years I've been at Brady, in 2012, there were 2 states that had universal background checks. Today, there are 14 states, over 1/3 of the U.S. population. There were 4 states with assault weapons bans. Today, there are 9 states with over 30% of the U.S. population. There were 2 states with ERPO, or red flag laws. Now there's 19 covering over half of the U.S. population. Safe storage, 13 states in 2012. Now there's 23 states. Almost 2/3 of the states in this country are covered by safe storage laws. Now, that is progress we can get excited about. Listen, this is a movement that hasn't had a lot to jump up and down and cheer a lot about. And I've been a Washington Redskins fan Commanders fan for a long time. And so I know what disappointment's all about. And so I hate 500 records. And so I want to do a lot better in this movement. But you know what? At the state level, we are making progress. And how did that happen? It's because of organizations like Brady. It's because of other organizations, and it's people like you helping us make a difference. So, damn it, thank you all. You know, and there's folks like Maxwell Frost, there's folks like Governor Murphy, and many, many others that are providing the political leadership to make that difference. But the golden ticket to a safer America is federal level universal background checks. It's a federal level assault weapons ban. It's a federal level red flag law and federal level safe storage laws. And that is going to make a difference. And why is that? We can argue about, does New Jersey have stricter laws or does California have stricter laws? But we do it really well in Jersey and really well in California. But you know what, in New Jersey, 80% of the guns recovered in crime are from out-of-state guns. That's not going to happen in a country where we have sensible gun laws. And so we got to get this sorted out. So these laws I'm talking about, like, hey, this is a new movement. Let's make America safe again. We'll all wear purple massa hats, you know? How about that? Well, okay, maybe. Anyways, there may be too much baggage with the 4-letter acronym. Okay, I'm trying too hard. Thank you. Listen, listen, the vast majority of firearms in this country are in responsible hands. Please, no one ever forget that. If we want to prevail on this issue, acknowledge the fact that most guns in this country are owned by people who are responsible, care about their families, want to do safe things, as you and I and everyone else in this room. What we care about is we want all guns in responsible hands. And that's why we need the laws to make that happen. And by the way, responsible gun owners want the exact same thing. If you look at polling, whether you're an NRA member or a gun, however you want to divide it, cut it up, it's 2/3, 70% plus want universal background checks, assault weapons ban, etc. So what do we need to do? There's consensus everywhere in this country, everywhere but on Capitol Hill. And there's money involved in all that. We all know that. We're big girls and boys. But what we all need to do is, I am an accidental activist. As I said early, I'm not a victim of gun violence. I'm just somebody who's like, we got to figure this stuff out. So we all need to do the hard work to create the political consensus that we deserve. And my closing ask of you is, the litmus test has to be, many of the people on this side of the room are Republicans, and God bless them all. All I ask for people is, please, literally, only vote for candidates that publicly support universal background checks, assault weapons bans, federal level ERPOs, and safe storage laws on all gun sales. I mean, let's all believe in the promise of America. We can figure this out. We owe it to ourselves and our children. We're better than this. I want to thank you all. I am blessed. I'm truly humbled. I'm going to win this damn bet. That's all I know. And literally, thank you all so much. I do love you all so very much. Thank you. I love the staff, my board members at Brady. You all have been great. Kris Brown, God bless you. There we go. No tears. No tears.
Kevin Quinn, Mr. Quinn. I love a man who cries. And I love a man who cries because there is always passion behind those tears. Congratulations. Congratulations on your award. Brady has thrived under your leadership. And that concludes our Action Award ceremony this evening. Thank you all for coming and also for being a part of the live stream as well. And remember, please remember before you leave to give via the tablets on your tables. It's an action on your part that will fill the well from which Brady draws to make life-saving programs like End Family Fire possible, to allow Brady to hold bad actors accountable in our courts, and to ensure that locally and nationally we understand that legislation will indeed keep us all safer. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us at the 2023 Brady Action Awards.